important that these factors, least chance of interception and the success rate of a plan, because 0 to 5 was the scale on which each plan was measured. Is this India's clarity of thought that minimum risk and maximum damage was the objective?
Navika, I believe minimum risk and maximum damage always has to be objective. But I think what is even more important was that this is a government that was willing to take the risk. Very often you had governments in India which were simply not ready to take any risk. There was a certain amount of, I won't say cowardliness. I think that's not the correct word, but there was this hesitation, this fear, this pusillanimity that if we do something, then we don't know, maybe the heavens will fall. I think most importantly, it was the resolve of this government to make sure that they are going to visit retribution on the enemy. And I think that is the single most important thing. After that, it is a matter of preparation. After that, it's a matter of calculation, and you bring in all your the synergy of your intelligence agencies, your defense forces, your political establishment, your diplomatic establishment. You pool everything together to make sure that everybody is working as a unit, which exactly is what has happened. And what is remarkable, Navika, and I'm sure journalists like you would really not be very happy with that, because Delhi is a city which has been famous for leaks or infamous for leaks. And I think the one thing which we have seen in the last 10 years of this government, 11 years of this government, is leaks don't happen. When there are serious plans at work, there are no leaks. Now, as analysts, all of us were expecting something is going to happen. Something has to happen. But let me tell you, even I was taken aback by the sheer audacity of what we did on the night of 6th and 7th. The kind of targets we selected, the 100% success rate of hitting all those targets, and the fact that we continued to go up the escalation ladder. We were not ready to back down. And I think all of that shows that how the granular level at which we planned. And Navika, allow me half a minute more. I was always of the view that we have to take kinetic action. It is unavoidable. It is a necessity. But I was also of the view that please take kinetic action after you have taken into account all the you've gamed the reaction of the enemy. And I can tell you one thing, Navika. I myself am surprised by the sheer success of what we have managed to achieve, that in just 3 or 4 days, we've destroyed virtually the entire air defense system of the Pakistanis. The kind of damage we have inflicted on them in just 3 or 4 days. And had this operation gone on, the Pakistan Air Force would have been decimated. I think we ourselves didn't want to escalate beyond a point because this operation had limited objectives. And I must say that this operation has achieved all those objectives and more, because the Pakistanis were stupid enough to think that they could try and challenge us, try and hit back, and not expect any retaliation in return. And that happened, and we continued to scale up our retaliation. So, frankly, salute to the political establishment, the military establishment, the diplomatic guys, and of course our agent Vinods and phantoms and babies of the intelligence services.
You were talking about preventing leaks. I can tell you, and I'll want Navika to share more details, that there were, of the 3 plans that she told us about, there was an element of surprise not just for Pakistan, but even for people who were involved in planning here. Navika?
Absolutely. As I told you, 10 plans were first made. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C were then finalized. On the evening of the 6th of May, it was decided that tonight, after midnight, is when we will launch our attack. And the time was settled post-midnight. Later on, as we know, in hindsight, this was at 1:05 on 7th May, wee hours of the morning, that this strike was launched at the terror camps in Pakistan. May I tell you the big surprise here? 2 hours before 1:05 that night, at 11:10, Plan A was set aside and Plan B was kicked in. Plan B was kicked in and all the preparation that had gone on for Plan A was kept aside. Remember, all the three plans were absolutely ready from the point 1 to the ultimate point. But even though Plan A was the most preferred till about 11 p.m. that night, at 11:10 the plan was changed and the lowest risk of interception existed in Plan B, and that is how, Pranesh, it was picked up, and that is why today we know 9 targets and all 100% delivery.
This is the backstory that hasn't come out so far. We've told you about 3 important things. Let me quickly recap for our viewers joining this broadcast. There was no delay, viewers, in decision making. The retribution decision was taken by Prime Minister Modi in Riyadh. Chapter 2 of Operation Sindoor files, the battle planning stage. The Prime Minister lands at the Pahalgam Air Base, and then he held an important meeting with the people who briefed him. External Affairs Minister NSA Doval, as also our Foreign Secretary, and we've told you about the Chapter 3 of Operation Sindoor files, about the safe house where this meeting took place. How many? 47 meetings across 15 days. Before we tell you about what we struck and the details about it, I want to quickly bring in RSN Singh. RSN Singh, what do you make of what you've heard so far?
No, you're perfectly right in what you have said, that it was not a knee-jerk response. It cannot be. It is what is a cool, calculated and calibrated response with the 10 contingency plans you have said. But let me remind your viewers that these contingency plans do not develop over days or weeks. These are developed over a period of time, and they are in place. And maybe our establishment have these plans much from before. That is what it differentiates between from earlier dispensations. Target acquisitions. Pranesh, do you think that you can just go and acquire a target within a matter of 10 days? No, sir, it doesn't happen. The process of target designation and the munition that you want to address that particular target with is decided much before. And there is a humongous amount of technical intelligence and human intelligence involved in it, and a great amount of intelligence cooperation. I am always emphasizing on this intelligence cooperation. No country in this world can alone, every country has intelligence cooperation with others. So we picked up this. Now you were asking, you were saying that foolproof plan. Yes, we have seen one trait of Mr. Modi, that he picks up a plan, maximum impact. Of course, I mean everybody does that, minimum effort and maximum, but he also ensures that with minimum of casualties. We saw that in Uri. The pains that we took, or the lengths that we went, that there is not even a single man left behind, in that surgical strike. Then in Balakot, even if we had lost one aircraft in Balakot, I mean, the narrative would have been, what people are adept at. But it didn't happen. And this time too, sir, I'm telling you, in the annals of warfare, this is one of the, what should I say, we fought the entire war from a stand of distance. And while you are talking about, this preparations and other things, let me tell you, full respects to the entire dispensation, and particularly the National Security Advisor. After all, he presides over this, this entire security apparatus. And why it didn't happen earlier? Because we suffered from a strategic sloth and we did not have a strategic imagination, we did not have political daring, and we did not
You
have
said it.
political
Sohail
will.
said it.